Jersey, the capital of mystery, the place where men forgot to die. This is Here Lies Metal, and welcome to another episode of the Here Lies Metal Too Many Notes New Music Review. Once again, I am Maledictus.
And I am Samantha.
And we shall be your reviewers for today and all of eternity. Welcome!
Okay.
What's going on today?
Today, we are here to review the band BLAZON RITE with their new album, Endless Halls of Golden Totem. BLAZON RITE is a heavy metal band out of Philadelphia. They are Johnny Halliday on vocals, James Kinham on guitars, Pearson Rowe on lead guitars, synth, and bass. Interesting. And Ryan Haley on drums. And this is their debut album. They had an EP in 2020. And it came out June 18th. Almost slept on it, but we're here to review it now.
It's a full band.
And it's available on streaming, on Bandcamp, and via vinyl and CD on Gates of Hell Records.
All right, well, let's get on with the review then. So now it's time for the Here Lies Metal 5-point bidirectional classification scale, including the categories of genre loyalty, listenability, production style, musical complexity, and just plain fun. Please know either side of the scale means good or bad.
All right, the true to nonconformist, the scale of genre. We're getting a pretty true score, maybe like a 1.5 to 2 for true heavy metal. But we're kind of leaning around in that heavy metal genre. This album has definitely a distinct power metal lean to me, mostly coming from this very epic, clear vocal and the many riffs surpassing the epic levels and joyousness of standard heavy metal. And that strong, clear vocal on this thing, it's not going too sweet, it's not going too power metal, and it's not too well performed. I think he's going for he's trying to sound like a naturally talented but untrained in the ways of voice warrior in the middle of battle who has just begun to sing. And we're also talking about fantasy subject matter, which lends it to power metal as well. And the synths. It opens very strongly with a fantasy synth. But this is not just a one-note album. We do occasionally sit back from that epic power metal, epic heavy metal feel, and just some straight heavy metal. Did you hear that heavy metal, Maledictus?
Yes. There's definitely all kinds of eras of early heavy metal there. Now, obviously, they have this sort of double guitar thing, which, giving it the Thin Lizzy thing, and, as well as the Iron Maiden thing at the same time. So obviously that's there. But every time as a power metal band, I kind of hold them to the standard of Manowar. That's me. The Manowar obviously isn't the only and most important power metal band, but for me, that's how I kind of gauge people. And there's not a lot of Manowar in their sound, but there is a lot of sort of Manowar influence in their lyrics and a little bit of the riff.
I disagree.
Okay, this is my one of my
not the lyrics.
My weird. I hear it in the lyrics a little bit.
Manowar lyrics are gloriously dumb.
Oh yes. Oh, okay.
These aren't dumb lyrics.
Less ridiculous. I'll give them that. They're a little more intelligent, right, for the most part. But there's definitely somewhat of an influence.
I'm sure they listen to Manowar.
Yeah, and I remember last time we did a power metal band, I was completely wrong on that assumption. I was like, oh, there's got to be Manowar in there, and which was completely...
I knew you would be wrong.
Yes, it was completely wrong. But anyway, that's
But
my
again,
opinion.
I'm not going to call them power metal. I think heavy metal is more just kind of power metal lean on the heavy metal. And we even push it up into some speed metal where we get a little meaner and faster, the drumming picks up. But again, nice speed metal. Maybe Judas Priest kind of speed metal, not your mean speed metal.
Yeah, there's nothing angry about it at all.
But we cannot also neglect the distinct early music, folk, Ren Fair music happening. The title track notably drops out into this little ditty, this little Ren Fair ditty mid-song.
Skyrim music.
Very melodic vocal on that one. And there's a nice melodic synth going on. And next time, guys, give me a call. I'll be happy to guest on recorder, which would go very well.
Yeah, I think it skews a little recorder part.
It could use a recorder. Anyway, but the whole album feels pretty magical, but definitely true heavy metal. So, yes, high marks for true.
Yeah, definitely we're on the true side here. We're all the way into true territory here, for sure.
All right, our next scale of terror, the Taylor scale. This is not a scary album.
No, we haven't had one of these in a while.
Yeah, we usually listen to scary music, but not today. We are enjoying a 4.5 into the distorted pop side.
Way in there.
The one thing holding us back from full points for distorted pop are the occasions the riffs do get a little meaner sometimes, a little more brooding perhaps.
Guys need to take it down a little bit.
And the drumming gets more intense. But, otherwise, it's a nice, fun ride. It's really easy to get through. A lot of it's written in a major key, and it's just full of joy.
Yeah, it's a very inspirational sound. It's not negative at all.
They're certainly not trying to be super heavy. We're in a magic land. And the vocal in particular is not afraid to get, very conventionally pleasant. I would say the peak of this, aside from that little ditty we just mentioned, is this very beautiful, evocative vocal line in the chorus of track 7, Consumed by Glory Lights. Did that strike you, Maledictus?
Yeah, sometimes, that their organ gets a little scary organ music. Maybe that's Sonic Terror, right? Because it gets like a little scary organ. It's like,
well, not scary enough.
Yeah, kind of funny scary, like an old 50s kind of movie. But it's otherwise you're pretty in elves and unicorns territory.
Perhaps with the power metal influence, some of the songs they track a bit long and can feel a bit meandering, but they do have a pretty rough structure. They go back to their verses and they go back to the choruses for sure eventually. So it's not a tight structure, but we are comforted by returning themes and motifs a lot.
Yeah, they're following like the A B something or
a nice pleasant listen.
Yeah, there's really nothing harsh here, that I could find. It's like nice music,
All right, now let's turn to Maledictus for his production corner here.
Right. So listening to this very carefully and analyzing the sounds and frequencies.
What was the score?
The score, I found a score of 4 on the 4 side, high production side. Obviously not super high production, obviously, because that would just make it kind of, probably less desirable if it was like all the way up there, right? But the endless halls of Golden Totem has it's a good example of like a solid wall of sound. All instruments are well balanced. All the members of the band are really in their own area and distributed into the proper frequencies where they belong. Nothing is out of place or drastic. No drastic methods are being expressed here. Not trying to break any ground here with this recording. It's how this kind of power metal should really be recorded. As for the guitars, they obviously their solos kind of stand out. There's a lot of guitar solos, and they represent a more classic kind of warm overdrive tone instead of like some super like HM2 kind of sound. They're not trying to be, definitely no brutal guitar sounds. It's reminiscent of like dad rockin' bands, that BLAZON RITE.
Dad rock.
BLAZON RITE I think is channeling dad rock. This is music that your dad would probably like. Not my dad, but like some dads of some younger people maybe.
Theoretical dad.
Theoretical dads. My dad would never listen to this, but some dads would be like, yeah, man, this is awesome. That's the kind of that's we're in that kind of guitar tone. So.
Okay, yeah, I enjoyed the warm sound, very full sound as well, but not overdone, and sounds old. That's good. Sounds old.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
All right, the note scale. How many notes? We're giving this like a 4 on the notes side, but
quite a few notes.
Pretty deep in the notes territory, but not for what you think. The drumming and the bass playing is competent, but they're not playing anything too complicated. Guitar solos, perhaps even more competent. And melodic, but not overdone.
Yeah, they drop a lot of guitar solos, though. They put them in there. They're generous.
Well, it kind of goes along with the power metal side.
Yeah, it's true. You can
generous guitar solos.
Yeah.
Perhaps of more note, to me, I was very impressed with the multiple extended twin guitar sections, refrains, where they're kind of like duetting with each other.
Yeah, that Thin Lizzy.
I enjoyed that a lot. But in a Here Lies Metal first, we are giving this a score of too many words.
Too many words.
Too many
words.
Maledictus and I came to this conclusion independently, listening to this separately.
Yeah, I was like, whoa. I was like, why is he trying to fit so many words into a verse?
And I was like, did you read my notes I already wrote? I said too many words.
Yeah, I was like, no,
we both agreed.
I'm like, sir, you need to like, a little bit less words in each measure. Because your words are good, but you probably have millions of words. You probably have so many words about the adventures you're singing about. But, as they say, savor your lyrics. Stretch them out. Let them breathe.
He's a very like conversational vocalist.
Yeah, he's telling you something.
He doesn't do any wails or like extended held notes. He's like got it. He's like trying to get as many words as he can.
He has a lot to tell you, and he's trying. And and maybe you can make the songs a little bit because your songs actually aren't that long. So he's trying to like get all the ideas.
I was looking at the lyric list and like looking at them and like this song's got to be like 8 minutes long. Like no, it's 4 minutes.
Like 4 minutes, but he has words on every part of the song. There's no break. He's like, I have so much. I went on an adventure and I have so much to tell you. That's what he's.
This guy is singing constantly. Yes. He sings over guitar solos sometimes.
The guitar player's like, hey. He's like, sorry, I got a lot to say.
So, too many words. I did actually notice that on the Bandcamp that I think it was actually the guitarist, or maybe one of the guitarists wrote the words. The vocalist did not write the words.
Oh.
So that's interesting.
So he's got to read all. Like when you like don't write your own lyrics, you're reading someone else's. That's kind of really challenging because you have to, because that idea is in their head. It's not in your head. So
well, I'm sure they agreed on the performance.
Yeah, but he's gonna have to like learn it all. Like okay, I got to get that. I got to get a feel for this story.
And it's a lot of words to learn.
Like, yeah, you can't go through the motions reading lyrics. I feel you got to like have an investment in them. You got to like have some emotional investment in them. That's just me.
All right. Final scale, the scale of fun. Anyone could have guessed this would get a 1 for fun. The music is adventurous, joyous, jubilant, unrestrained. I don't think this is a single storyline going throughout, but I feel like they're singing about a specific same fictional land, like the canon. They're singing about a canon. All songs are in canon.
Yeah, they're about a story. They have a little universe.
It's an epic land full of glory and battles. And with that clear vocal, I can catch a lot of the words, the many words, like tonight, Satyrs ride, and like...
what do they ride on? They have like big goat feet, right?
I would think satyrs could run.
Yeah, they probably like bounce, like they do that like run, that funny run that they do. Because they have like those big like hoof legs. So
I liked having a song about satyrs.
Like
I don't think satyrs get sung about enough. It's always goats. Like, sing about some satyrs.
Yeah, like satyr, like pan.
Once in a while.
Like pan flute.
But yeah, this is definitely an album. It's gonna make you grip your sword just a little bit tighter.
That's what he says. He says, "Grip your sword a little bit tighter."
Even Maledictus remembers the lyric.
Yeah, because I'm gonna have to grip my sword a little tighter. You're ready.
It's
ready
a very
fight.
passionate line. There's a lot of passionately delivered lines here, and it's fun. And
yes. It reminds me of there's a certain song there, track 6, "Night of the Watchman, Starfall Tower." Obviously, they're influenced by all kinds of metal here, but it really sounded like a Rainbow or Dio song to me.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And it had that bounce to it, and maybe kind of like Run Like the Wolf, maybe.
I thought it was more Dio.
Yeah. So maybe like
it was very simple,
like Straight to the Heart, maybe for Dio. Like I found like Rainbow, Run to the Wolf. I was analyzing like Dio and Rainbow the other night, and I was like, what does this sound like? And I kind of found Straight to the Heart from Dio, or maybe Run with the Wolf from Rainbow. It had that bounce to it, that kind of hard, kind of hitting. Sort of, drum kind of pattern. But yeah, that's it's metal. Why wouldn't you have Dio in there?
Let's look at the art.
Artwork. Anyways, it's all about the artwork.
Credit goes to Matt Sticker. First, I love their logo. I'm just gonna say that. I know it's not the credit to Matt Sticker.
That's a really classic kind of logo.
I like that logo. I like the colors on it. But I don't know. Yeah, this is a nice painting here. Very colorful. I enjoy that. What's happening here? We're entering... I feel like they've kind of probably magically opened this doorway deep in the forest to the halls of Golden Totem. And clearly someone down there on the bottom right has died attempting to access this forbidden area.
I just noticed there's a dead...
there's a corpse, and there's someone else.
And another person is challenging it. He's...
I feel... My feeling is that guy was part of that party, and he was like, no, we should turn back. And now he's just watching them go in and like, oh, this will be the ruin of everything. And I think that's what's happening.
There's like a coven in here, and they're like maybe awaiting him.
Definitely seeking some kind of power. Perhaps if I read the lyrics more closely, I'd understand what's going on.
Yeah, Randy's talking about this?
I mean, they have a song called Endless Halls of Golden Totem, and that's clearly the Endless Halls of the Golden Totem.
What's totem?
What's a totem? You don't know what a totem is?
Not really. Not
like a totem pole?
Yeah, I know what a totem pole is, but what is a totem though?
Like, I mean, it's just like a...
Oh, look, it's a satyr. Look. He's hiding. He's hiding in the wood.
Okay, I feel like the satyrs must be protecting.
This is like one of those like find the thing. You know, you look closer and you find things. That's what this is. This is fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good job, Matt Sticker, for making a beautiful original piece of art for this album, right in with the theme.
Yeah, I can't tell if like he's coming up on these guys. I don't know if they're challenging him, they're awaiting him, or they're doing like a COVID in there and he's like sneaking up on him. He's like, what are they doing?
I mean, we don't know. That was just my guess.
Yeah, maybe if we listen to the lyrics, or we can probably explain this. But you know, this kind of reminds me of this is like Skyrim. There's no satyrs in Skyrim, but this is like you're in the forest in Skyrim and you come upon a Dwemer ruins because it looks like Dwemer alloy. These guys, it looks like they're made of Dwemer alloy. You know, so you're in the Dwemer Fortress, which is never fun in Skyrim. So.
Yeah, like that golden color.
Because there was traps everywhere.
Especially like that building, those buildings in the back look like one of those like
those Dwemer
robots.
fortresses. Yeah, the automatons. And you know what's talked about Dwemer, when you kill a robot and you take like its parts, it would be so heavy, like Dwemer alloys would be so heavy. Don't pick that up. Yeah, because it would weigh you down.
What are you, a barbarian?
Yeah,
Don't pick that.
It was like super heavy.
Final thoughts.
Final thoughts?
This is a pretty awesome album. I'm sorry I didn't review it earlier, but I feel like I slept on a little bit because in particular, like the flow on this album, like the first song is just awesome, and maybe the two songs after that are just like maybe a bit less, but like the album from there on just like goes so hard and is really good, and you really just have to give it a chance. And then after listening to it a few times, I was like, yes, this is way better than I initially thought. And it's a lot of fun. Obviously, you know, if you like power metal and heavy metal and speed metal and the confluence of those things, you're definitely going to be interested in this. I feel like, you know, you want to call it like kind of epic heavy metal, which is going to immediately bring to mind stuff like Eternal Champion. And there's definitely some Eternal Champion vibes, but these guys definitely have more diverse sound than Eternal Champion, and their production is not, I would say, as stilted. It's more straightforward.
Yes. Epicus, Metallicus, Power Comamicus, Power Meculus.
Any thoughts, Maledictus?
Yes, you know, this is giving you the metal. This is giving you the dad metal. And they're not from Europe. You know, they're not from Germany. They're from Philadelphia. It's a very working class kind of place, and they're still doing this kind of thing. You know, so I think that's kind of cool. So yes, folks. So thank you for checking out this review. And once again, folks, thanks for listening. And make sure to check us out on social media. Check out our Facebook. Check out our Instagram. Check out all the cool pictures on Instagram. Check out, give me an email, hereliesmetal@gmail.com. And yeah, check all that stuff out. And hit that subscribe button. And give it a thumbs up. And hit that bell so you know when new episodes are coming out. All that. So we'll see you for the next episode of the Here Lies Metal 2 Minute Notes Music Review. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.